I know a little further into it here, but anyway, just a random read. I will do something here for November here in the next short little while. But given what I see here, it looks like you're trying to make some significant changes in your life in around money, what direction you want to move ahead in. There's definitely something at the forefront revolving around your relationship and some changes taking place. Just giving you a little summary here, synopsis, and then I'll go through it here on a more detailed level. Definitely some communication issues and concerns. I feel like you're really deliberating at this time in around how things are around your home front. I suspect there is some level of instability and yet stable, if that makes any sense. So there is some sense that you're trying to, there is some level of chaos, but it's still, you're still in control of it, I guess is what I want to say there. So, but I still feel like there are just some decisions to be made, and there's some definite strategies yet to be put into place here before you're able to move forward, because it feels like you are just feeling um, a little level of restriction in around the area of your finances. Again, there's some big changes I feel you're going to be making here in the month of October. And again, even though we're moving toward the very last of it here, it just feels like a lot of the energy will probably be moving into November here as well for many of you. So just wanted to quickly mention as well, general reading. And again, this is for Taurus, October 2022. Feels like what you've been dealing with over the course of this month anyway has been in around your finances. The Nine of Pentacles, of course, does speak to a level of independence, having enough money, but still feeling like you need to hang on to it, but you also need to be making some kind of level of change. So the main cards here are the Nine of Pentacles. These are the clarifiers, Four of Pentacles, and the Fool. Main card again is the Seven of Swords, but lots of Five Wands and Five Swords, Five Wands. A lot of communication issues, I would say, coming through here this month, or at least there's a lot of discussions. There's a lot of changes to be made in around that area about how you're going to strategize to move forward. I do feel in terms of your relationship, you're feeling some kind of restriction. You're just kind of doing a little bit of deliberation on how to deal with a particular situation. And again, this is just the synopsis, not for everybody, but it is the general read. So energies that I feel coming through here is that you're trying to figure out some level of understanding and how to pursue something. You might have a lot of options here that it's available to you, but there's still a lot of deliberation going on here around your stability and how things will, look as you go through these changes. And they look like they're pretty significant jumps for you. So maybe the household was running at a certain level and things were moving in a certain direction, a particular way, steady, and now it's in a place where things are going to move off into a whole new direction with the Fool, and then of course over here, Death card is a card of transformation. There's something really significant. You're still in control of whatever the change is in around, or the family situation, the family dynamic is still looking to be in control. These are methodical sort of cards. And again, I don't see a lot of the action taking place. It just feels like whatever's going on in the month of October is still in deliberation. So, about how to move forward. So, again, cards of holding back here with the Seven of Pentacles, Seven of Cups. And then, of course, the Four of Pentacles. There's just, an interest in moving something ahead and jumping into a whole new direction, which is going to be a significant change. But again, where you're at right now is Nine of Pentacles, thinking about where the finances are going to be in the future here. And again, there's a bit of a strategy that's taking place that you're having to consider this month. And again, there's a connection where there's a decision that needs to be made. And this could also, for some of you, this is going to involve a partner. Could be a business partner, doesn't have to be a loving connection, but it could also be just somebody who's really significant that you run things past, that's very close to you, that's somehow connected with your stability. King of Swords energy, a lot of communication that needs to take place, or a discussion before things can advance forward. And again, Seven of Pentacles. Seven is kind of a magical number, so things are still moving in a positive direction. direction when you were looking at a seven. So, but again, Nine of Pentacles is you're trying to reach for a better life here. So, you're trying to improve your finances, improve your position, and you're really considering all the facts at this point. So again, that Knight of Pentacles is also about being very independent, but it's also a card of self-reliance. So I feel like you're really trying to depend on your current financial situation to kind of protect your moves and how you want to move forward. So it's just a methodical way of advancing yourself. But I do feel like you have you're really concentrating on how to move something ahead because you've already been able to achieve a certain level of independence or success or self-reliance. You have been able to operate in a very singular sort of way. And again, I'm not saying that there's no partnership that's significant to that advancement, but you are feeling fairly independent in nature anyway. I do feel like, again, there's a lot of swords here because, and a lot of things around practical matters, but we've got the Seven of Swords, and the King of Swords is sort of the main players out here. And again, I still feel like there is a lot of communication or strategizing, something that really needs to take place to advance something forward. This is air energy, also represents, things in around the winter season, which is where we're kind of at this point. But it's you're trying to break away from something, again, breaking away from old ways of communicating, perhaps old strategies. But there's also a bit of resistance in trying to hang on to the old. You don't really want something to change here, is what I would say, with that Five of Wands and that Four of Pentacles. But again, something's changing. It's still in the energy of this Nine of Pentacles, Seven of Swords, Lovers, and the King of Swords and the Seven of Pentacles. This is the energy where it's at. So it could be very significantly around, involving a connection or a relationship or, as I say, significant partnership, business partnership, whatever it is for you. Something around that seems to be a very significant factor in all of this, though. So again, King of Swords energy to me can represent a legal atmosphere or a lawyer. Could also be a Libra sort of energy here as well. But there is also, again, that energy of you're moving from this place of independence and stability, and you're having to strategize, perhaps with a partner or somebody who could be, significant in the outcome of this. And this month, again, with the King of Swords, could be dealing with a legal professional, but there is a lot of communication that needs to take place here that I don't really see happening yet. But there is going to be some resistance in making this change. The Seven of Pentacles is still in, building something up, but it is in around your family stability. It is in around the home front and certainly does relate around controlled, methodical changes, but there are significant changes, whatever this is that's coming up for you. But again, we've got that going back to that Nine of Pentacles energy here. You are undergoing some kind of metamorphosis here, so this is I mean, in terms of a relationship, it could be that there is some conflict that's going to arise over this change. I just feel like there is, you're feeling a bit solitary in the way that you're moving forward here, but that Four of Pentacles energy is a card of resisting a bit of change, resisting some sense of change that is inevitable. I feel like it's inevitable. It's going to happen. But I just feel like you're well rooted and protected here, and you're having to move into this place of uncertainty with that Fool card. So this is not where you're at right now. You're not having to make that decision. The change isn't really taking place yet, but the thought and the energy is around it. Um, and again, there's also with that Four of Pentacles, I mean, it is a feeling of, again, being rooted, but it's also you have an inability to let go of something. There's an inability of you releasing something and able to go forward, but you are still evaluating or reevaluating your priorities in around the stability of the household. And again, this could be in around a masculine figure here with the Emperor as well as that King of Swords. Again, could represent legal because of that King of Swords energy is falls in the same realm. But the Emperor is somebody who is fairly well established and quite methodical and, really thinks things out. They're the ones that kind of make the move. So whether this is you or another person, there is somebody who is, I feel, kind of significant in this connection that is a big player in whatever the change is. There's a strategy that has to take place, though. Again, I feel lots of resistance from you or another person. There's a lot of change that's going to take place very soon. The energy is where you're at right now. This is plotting, figuring things out. But where it's going to move is Five of Swords and Five of Wands. There's going to be a struggle. There's going to be a push pull in a situation. And again, whether this is financially somehow, doesn't have to be just in your, it could be just on the home front that all of this is going on and taking place, or it could be right into the work atmosphere. But there is some sense of resistance toward a very significant change that looks to be something completely different that you're, or something somehow feels like it's completely different, moving off into this really significant direction. It's not taking place yet because this is where you are. Again, Nine of Pentacles, Seven of Swords. You're still deliberating. But this, you're holding, somebody's resisting the movement. You're having to go out of your own comfort zone, basically. So you are focusing on your money, and as I say, there it could be, I don't feel like it's unexpected change. It feels like there's a lot of deliberation in this situation, because when I look at the Seven of Swords, calculating, methodical, you know um communication, but very careful communication. Five of Swords, Five of Wands, big changes that are in around action and reaction to some idea of some sort here, that, there's a lot of struggle between how things will be playing out here. But again, the fives means something's happening. Something is about to happen, though, again, probably further out into November, December, or at least that first stage, or initial stage of something moving forward there. But whatever it is, that resistance with the Seven of Swords and the Five of Swords, those two cards are all about, you know, feeling like something's being taken away from you, or taken away from the family, or taken away from a particular situation that you feel, you're being forced to compromise something. You don't, there's a sense that you don't, there's worry around it. There's definitely careful energy around it, but it feels like you don't feel like, somebody is not revealing a lot, or you're not revealing a lot, but there's some kind of secretive energy around this change. Um, and again, there's going to be some resistance, because somebody doesn't want the status quo to change. But there is something that is bound to change here, because, like I say, we've got two fives and there's already a strategy at hand. So something's about to go in a particular direction. Could be an employment situation, workplace change, but something around the home front, something around the foundation itself is where the change will take place. I do feel like there's it's not a bad change necessarily here, because, like I say, it feels like there's a dramatic change that's going to change something quite significantly, but again, still in control of the change and the transformation. But it's still, there's no energy here that speaks to a negative outcome. I feel like there's just a lot of restriction on your part or somebody's part as far as how to work through the process, because it does feel like it's a really solitary decision, or, it feels like there's, even though there's a struggle here with that Five of Wands energy, and there will be resistance from somebody in the workplace, or from yourself, or whatever this connection situation, there is going to be some kind of feeling of threat, or that, maybe there's a tactic that's being used here that doesn't feel right in the way something is having to be forced upon you here. But I still feel like the change is a good one. I don't see any cards that are here that indicate that this is something negative. Um, but it is something new-ish. I mean, it might not be completely right into, but it's coming. Whatever this change is, it's going to steer you in the right direction, or the household in the right direction, but it is still a competitive kind of energy. Somebody could be triggered a bit here. There's a bit of a push pull. There's a sense that there's going to be some words, uh, this month, communications, but it's very careful communications, but it definitely, sort of affects the land or the home, or, you know, some sense of, foundation, whatever, but or your security, pretty much, I guess is what I would say there. But again, Five of Wands still speaks to some kind of action taking place, some kind of change. There is a struggle here, but it's probably going to play out a little further into the month, in November, because again, where you are right now is a Seven of Swords, Nine of Pentacles, feeling pretty stable and secure in where you are, but it's going to change. And again, with the lovers, there's somebody significant here that's involved. The energy is rise to the challenge, as they say, with that Five of Wands and that Five of Swords. Um, the Five of Wands is don't panic. The energy is about creating a game plan. Lots of energy around creating a game plan. The Like I said, I mean, looking at the Seven of Pentacles, there's a lot of deliberation going on here. Um, and with the Seven of Cups, even though we're not quite in the Seven of Cups energy, you're still in the King of Swords. So, again, I just feel like you've got a lot on your plate to consider here this month, and it is going to be some big changes for something around your stability. You don't feel secure about it, but I think that you don't have to worry about it really, because again, all the cards really speak to stable income. Something is going to be a lot more, stable income for the family. Somebody's in control, and the transformation is a significant one, whatever it is. But at the same token, you're worrying over something that's being well planned. And to me, that's kind of counterintuitive, because if you're planning, and again, all the cards suggest that this is strong energy, mature energy, King of Swords, Emperor energy. There's no cards here of negativity other than just sort of self imposed restriction, as they say with the Eight of Swords. And the Five of Swords, Five of Wands is just push pull energy, trying to hang on to an old mindset, an old idea. But there's nothing here that suggests to me that the energy is not going in the right direction. It's just a new venture, a new journey, a new pathway here, a new idea or enterprise of some sort that's coming up